Welcome to The Forgotten, sorta, where we take a look at games that have slipped from the collective memory bank, supposedly, or perhaps that have never actually managed to get that far. And I'd like to start with a question. Have you ever seen a game, be it a trailer, an advertisement, or even a mere understated screenshot, not just before release, but before you have read any reviews or previews, and at that moment firmly stated, yes, I want this. Back in 2003, this was me for a little game simply called 13. I mean, look at it for God's sake, look at the style, oh, so fucking cool. So what is 13? It's a first-person shooter, a very standard first-person shooter, admittedly in hindsight a very standard first-person shooter that was very much so carried by its style. Boy, I'm really selling it so far. Alongside a fantastic look and bog-standard gunplay is a tale of assassination, secret organizations, general conspiracy, and bad stealth segments. It was the early 2000s. It came out on everything at the time, PS2, Xbox, GameCube and PC. It was an Ubisoft joint after all, so yeah, of course it would. You could still buy the game on PC via Steam and GOG, until the end of 2012 when Ubisoft lost the 13 license. But then, in October 2019, 13 came back, and now under the publishing banner of Microids. Who? What? Why? We'll get there in a bit. Wait, what's that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I should probably mention that. Yes. 13 is a licensed game. If you can't figure out what it is, the game's art style should clue you in. 13 is a long-running comic series. If you haven't heard of it, it's probably because you don't speak French. I don't speak French, and I didn't know about this. Coincidence? Maybe. To simply call 13 long-running is a bit of an understatement. It started back in 1984, and as of this recording, the most recent entry in the franchise released in May 2018. So there you go. Now, as I haven't read 13, I may be a little bit off here, but from what I can tell, the story of 13, the game, is an amalgamation of the first 8 volumes, with, judging by the Wikipedia summaries, a lot getting cut out. Now you may be wondering, why 13 now? Understandable. It's a game that I still hold some fondness for and was going to cover at some point, and way back when I was originally mentally compiling video categories and the games contained within, I was always going to do something with 13, with me mainly leaning towards The Forgotten. But then, they're feckin' making a remake. This is the reason for the asterisk-laden introduction, and this is where Microids come in, as they are publishing the remake. Who Croids, you ask? I don't know. Let's find out together. Let's see, it's a French company. Well, that explains why they'd want 13. Oh, jeez, they're founded in 85. God, they've been around a while. Seen some mergers, rebrands from Microids to Microids. I already established that, I don't speak French, so I guess they maybe it's Macroids to I don't know. Games, that's more important. Don't know. Shogo! You! Shogo! Says the person with it sitting on their hard drive for possibly 2 years. Okay, Siberia, post-mortem, and assumably still life as well. War and Peace? The feck? Look, I know we're getting horrendously sidetracked here, but if I stumble upon a feckin' video game adaptation of War and Bloody Peace, I am going to feckin' follow through with any available link. Helpful. Return to Mysterious Island Okay, if you're returning to the island for a third time, 'cause you have to be, that ain't very feckin' mysterious. Unless the first game was extremely uneventful. Red Johnson, for feck's sake. Well, I have Asterix and Obelisk, so that's a thing. And The Dead Black Sad, that's another comic adaptation. Well, it turns out I am more familiar with Microids than I was actually anticipating. As in, there was more than 0. Microids also placed the original 13 back on sale on PC, and isn't that nice? It is, actually. Though I guess that'll depend on how faithful the remake is. Maybe there'll be more of those story points that got cut from the original story, maybe some gameplay or level deviations, so they feel that maybe re-releasing the original wouldn't cut into sales. Business. The remake was originally due to be released in 2019, but it got pushed back to 2020. But the foot was still very much planted up my arse, so I decided to bring my 13 plans forward. And by bringing plans forward, I mean actually make plans and then execute on them. I'm really curious as to what form this remake is going to take, but that will be for another day. Maybe. In spite of the remake, I am still labeling this a Forgotten, because even with the remake's announcements, I have seen no one talk about 13, so I bloody will. Would you look at that. It's nearly the 25th of December, and you know what that means. Forced famine. Re-roll the intro! Shush, just play it. Hey, no freestyling. XIII was actually a Christmas game for me. Oh, look at that. Totally intentional on my part. Yep, totally not something else that I was working on. Partially recorded. That should already be out in some fashion, if not entirely finished. That wasn't delayed to a feckin' wave of incompetence that lasted far too feckin' long. Oh no, this was the intent from the start! Regardless, I haven't played 13 in some years, possibly more than 7. As with that last playthrough I saw through the style and came to terms with the banality of the moment-to-moment action. Will my time with it now further eroded standing in my mind, or was that last playthrough the sole blow that it will take? Let's find out. First off, the menu. Yeah, you heard me. Menus, look at them. On top of just being kinda cool, they're also accompanied by sound bites of dialogue.
Steve Rowland, you are under arrest for the murder of William Sheridan.
Woo, intrigue. When you start the game, you make a profile. Now, why do that instead of just letting you load a save? It's because in these menus, you can look at a few things. 1. Documents. During the game, you pick up numerous notes, folders, etc. related to the conspiracy. 2. The conspiracy. Here you can see a quick view of all the members of the conspiracy. Well, those leading it. And finally, the story so far. Self-explanatory, you get a quick recap of the story you've seen, told through the comic panels. For reasons I don't understand, these are only available from the main menu and can't be accessed whilst in game. God, the presentation of this game is great. This is going too well. Something's going to bite me in the arse this game, I just fucking know it. We begin with premise setting. The President of the USA, William Sheridan, aka NJFK, is assassinated. His brother, Wally, aka NRFK, now runs for presidency. 2 outbackers want to catch the culprits. In closing, we see the members of the conspiracy, dressed in their soul-set clothes. Cut to Brighton Beach. A lifeguard spots a body on the beach. That's us.
I can't remember a thing.
Oh no, how unfortunate in a conspiracy setting. We make our way along the beach. Spot a totally on the up-and-up helicopter that's needlessly close to the ground. Seriously, fucking go up, man. Flashback. I would like to, but it won't let me. We get shot in the ass and fall off the boat. Why he wouldn't do this sooner, I have no idea. Maybe he thought he could lose them.
Be careful. Damn it.
You don't say.
Memory? I found this key in your pocket. Ever heard of Winslow Bank? Here. Who's that?
Bloody hell, could you have mugged that one anymore? Okay, it's time to talk about the game. The music! God, the music is great. It's got a little funk, a little jazz. Oh, it's bloody good. The GOG version comes with a little OST, though from what I can tell, they're more remixes than anything else, and they aren't really used in the game, but they're generally pretty good. Anyway, game style. God, these are so fucking cool. If you get a headshot with throwing knives, crossbow, or sniper rifle, you get these little comic panels. The cool thing is that these are done in real time, and you can tell because not only is the correct model shown, the knife/bolt is always accurate to where you hit them. The comic presentation extends beyond these headshot panels, as notable scenes or skits that happen during the gameplay also get the panel treatment. Not only is it cool because, oi, 13 is a comic, but also because it creates this dynamic feel to the moment-to-moment gameplay. And if you get any kind of kill, you get this little stylized text pop up above their heads. It's pretty great. Right, where were we? Oh yeah, the game. Oh, we finished the level. Oh, I forgot to mention these when talking about the style. The majority of the levels in the game get introduced with these little panels alongside displaying your main objectives. And when you set off, it's bloody great.
Mr. Rowland? It's been such a long time.
Well, that must be solved. I foresee no twists nor turns ahead in relation to my identity. Files, traps, flashbacks. We trapped ourselves. Boom! The dulcet drones of the company.
I've fallen into my own trap.
God, he's bad. Like, no matter the line, it's always this flat, emotionless, tired delivery. You lost your memory, not your will to live. Also, yeah, David Duchovny plays the main character. It's weird. In fact, the three main characters are a little odd. Obviously, you have David Duchovny here, Bloody Adam West as General Carrington, and Eve as Major Jones. Okay, I have no idea who Eve is. Looking at her IMDb page, I have seen none of the things that she's in other than 13 and XXX. And I have not seen XXX in nigh on 15 years. She hasn't had the cross-continental impact of Mulder nor Batman is what I'm trying to say here. Outside of the possible stunt casting, the voice acting is pretty good. It's hammy and at times extremely cartoonish, enjoyable so, and the writing can be pretty funny as well.
I don't get it. According to the map, the cabin should be right under my feet.
Well, find a shovel and dig.
Kiss my ass!
Sneak, the balls! Is one of the conspirators. You can tell because he hasn't changed his clothes. Alright, give me a second. Oh, it's technology. Am I right? Alright. Okay, you're probably not going to be at HMA much longer. Here I'll let you go. Yeah, that's alright. What the fuck? Oh no. Oh dear. Kriya balls. FBI, that is not how you hold an AK, you oof.
In your deposition, you even added that you don't feel like a killer. How touching. Look at this photograph. See the impact on the back of the head? Where did the bullet come from, in your opinion?
A gun?
And who have we here?
They're positive your man was killed in a mission down in Mexico over 2 years ago.
Well,
Intrigue.
widow's in
Major Jones makes her entrance and shoots a nearby wall to bust us out. Ah yes, I too am not a fan of the old terrorism. We need to make our way to the roof to escape. This makes sense. And as you can see here from the analytics, after our first year, things are going well. Jeff Green? What are you doing here? You still haven't finished packing Dark Souls 3.
Where are you keeping your
I'll
suspects?
save you. Oh, what the fuck? Seriously, is it just an old abandoned building next door to the FBI and they didn't knock it down or something, anything? So we meet up with Jones on the rooftop.
Seeing me again doesn't do anything for you, does it? I can't believe it. You really have lost your memory.
So then why won't you help me? Inform me. Help.
Carrington went missing 3 days ago. He was leading a parallel investigation into President Sheridan's assassination.
And learn to grapple. Jones, that'll help. My God, he's invincible.
Here.
My God, he was a tutorial.
Here, take that!
What the hell was that? After hold off, it's time to save Carrington. A bunch of naughty feckers are trying to take over the base where Carrington is being held. Timon. Oh my. Let's double check that. Yep, yeah, that's a strong, Alright. Alright, we made it to the camp. Now to, dear. It's time for stealth. Yeah, it was technically introduced during the bank and continued during the beginning of the FBI skip, but I held off because it's quite mandatory here.
Alert!
The stealth elements are one of the key points that come to mind when I recall my time in 13. 13 came out in 2003, a period rife with completely unnecessary and at times busted stealth gameplay. The stealth is straightforward enough, you're silent when you crouch, and since it's 13, even the stealth isn't free from being styled. When stealth in the first person, that's one of the hardest things to do. Gauging the locations of dawdling dipsticks that you have to avoid. So what does 13 do? It crouch and stay still. You see little taps from sounds in their footsteps. Oh wait, sorry. I hear footprints. I hear footprints. Yes, that's right. You know, when you walk around, filling hallways with footprints. Footprints of the ear. Ah, it's fucking cool. The only thing that took a little bit was figuring out just how far they can see. At times it's quite far, and other times, perhaps it's distance mixed with time seen. I'm not sure. Before this, my memories told me that these sections were a misery to endure, but with this camp creep, it was fine. It's actually a lot more forgiving than a lot of bad stealth sequences. You can bust out a damn assault rifle and no one within 25 feet will fucking hear it, no matter how stupid the circumstances. After I was initially done recording this, I actually played ahead just to check the stealth sections to make sure that I wasn't speaking too soon. And yeah, sometimes there can be a little trial and error, but these stealth segments are typically pretty short and aren't that difficult. The main one I recall being hell was this one in the submarine, due to this particular wrinkle. But this time around, it was fine. I didn't even get a, huh? Maybe I got lucky this time around, or maybe I just sucked at 13 before. I don't know. Addendum 2. Okay, I decided to do more stealth recording from later in the game. I am now stunned by the strife that I endured in the past. These Blaze stealth sequences are practically stealth in name only. Just back and look.
Know who I'm talking about? No. What the? Oh!
You can just run up on these Aegis and give them a good poking. And if someone sees you run over to them and give them a good poking. And as long as they don't press the alarm, you're grand. And as I said earlier, it doesn't even matter if they shoot at you. Everyone is fucking deaf. I think the problem I had long ago was that I was trying to play it as a very strict and rigid stealth game and not as a mental poker. Stealth! Oh my god! This man's soul is imprisoned on F. I must aid him.
And what about Carrington?
Keep him in the hole. I want the names of all the agents he's working with on the Sheridan case.
If he clams up, take his cigars. That'll get the fog talking.
Why would you tell the person who ordered you to do something to do the thing that would accomplish the job they give to you? This isn't an attempt at a joke, I'm just confused. Alright, it ain't required, but who's to say we can't do a little bit of stealth? Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got a grenade. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Ah yes, I too am familiar with the methodology of Ethan Hunt. Damn it! You'll be back. Ah, fuck it. Walk away from that, you wobbling wazzock. Another poor soul's ascension has been obstructed. I shall do what I can. Oh.
Hey, you over there, bring me my cigars. There. On the table.
Hey, did you hear me, son? Did you hear me?
You've got nothing left to prove with the spaz, son. I've got a Class A hero mission to offer you.
I must question this man.
Must you? I'd like to see if I can try. It would be a first.
Am I dreaming?
Didn't capitalize the A there.
Can you read me? What? What do you mean amnesia?
So, are you, going to say something? Do we get to hear any of those questions? Huh? No? I have some. Like, why the fuck does no one explain anything to the fucking amnesiac? His name? What's going on? It's, fuck it. Story time. The story is weird, and its execution that is not the subject matter. I have to imagine this is due to cutting out half of the actual plot points to make it either work for a game or for scope reasons. As I said, I haven't read 13, but I'm going to guess that a great deal of the plot was delivered in characters standing around and talking, and the developers couldn't think of a way to implement them without the game's pacing getting a tad bogged down. As it stands, the game does move at a fairly quick rate, to the detriment of the plot details. Half the time it felt like the plot progression isn't based on your actions or discoveries, but rather conversations that took place elsewhere. Hey, we're going to save Carrington. How do we know where he is? We just do. We crashed into a canyon area unintentionally. But it's okay. Jones parked a jet a little ways off. How did she know we were here? She just did. Since when does she have a jet? She just does. Where did she get the jet? Doesn't matter. Oh, now we're going to the Spads camp. How do we know where it is? We just do. Yes, it means the game is maintaining a constant quick pace, but results in you feeling like a clueless passenger as opposed to the protagonist. Now, I don't know if it's due to the cutback nature of the story, or trying to fit the story of 13 into a video game, but plot points revolving around you make no sense. Okay, here's a question that I honestly did not consider the last time I played this game. Why the hell does no one ever explain anything to us? It's like they don't want to because it could be some big twist, especially when it comes to who we are. We get to Carrington, and he has to practically fight himself from saying our name.
My God, I can't believe it. My best man alive.
Spoiler! You mean Steve Rowland. Carrington certainly knows this. He was in charge of the whole bloody operation. Yet they never addressed the amnesiac of an identity crisis by name. After the next level, it comes up, gets interrupted, gets brought back up afterwards, gets interrupted and then isn't brought back up. Why? Must they maintain silence in the helicopter? Can Jones not pilot while the other two talk? During that extra recording for the stealth segments, I got the reveal of his name.
I got it! Fly! His name was Jason Fly!
So what changed? Nothing. It's just now people actually fucking use his name. There is nothing gained other than knowing your real name. It gets established earlier that you got plastic surgery to look like Steve Rowland. So why does no one address him by name? Say his name. Why doesn't he say something? Say something, you feckless fart. It just doesn't work, and I really want to read 13 now just to see if this works at all there. Those grievances aside, the story of 13 is enjoyable if a tad bare bones. Like I said, you're constantly missing the who and why and instead getting the wait what, and sure, it gets you from point to point, but in a story with big conspiracies, it's a bit flat. Also, as an aside, you eventually make it to the conspirators' meeting place, and you see them, and I have a simple question. Who the hell in this bloody group looked at that fucking KKK and said, yes, this is us, this is what we believe is fitting for this new world order we wish to bring about. And no! You can't just put some fucking purple on it. That just makes you look the fucking fashionista sect of the Ku Klux Klan. I understand wanting to protect your anonymity. I understand wanting to protect your anonymity. Bloody hell. Anonymity. I understand wanting to protect your anonymity. Anonymity? I understand wanting to protect your identity, but for fuck's sake, people, wait, what, clan? I don't remember this. Actually, that looks like... So we skedaddle with Carrington, and after a brief holdout, escape on a tram.
Set us back, son. Bastards. The night you disappeared, you were about to ID #1. But naturally, none of that rings a bell now. Listen, There are 20 of them, son. 20 conspirators hiding behind numbers. Captain Steve Rowland was one of them, the notorious number 13. He killed the president, but his accomplices betrayed him and hired the mongoose to kill him. And today he actually is dead.
Well then, who am I?
Average man. Tall man. Short man. Average man. Tall man. Short man.
They're back. Watch out! Get down!
You know, we have this big action sequence filled with sequences of action big, and anything is time, gameplay. Oh, that's actually really nice looking. No! Gameplay! Look, I wasn't dancing around the core gameplay throughout this because it's poor. It's not. It's more than competent, it's very standard. You move and aim at a quick pace, and fights typically don't go on very long, so they never really bog down the pace of the game. The only thing that potentially can is the fail stated stealth segments, which, as shown, it's really hard for them to do so. The game has a health armor system, so there's no health regen, which makes sense, 2003. So you find med kits of 2 different sizes, and you can either scroll through your inventory or just tap a heal shortcut if you aren't picky. So healing never really comes under much consideration. An interesting element with the armor is the fact that you have both head and body armor. If I'm honest, I don't know if this level of minutia is needed. It makes a bit more immediate sense in the multiplayer. Yes, there is multiplayer. You also get a motorized grappling hook that adds a little verticality to levels, and sometimes a little swingy platforming. There is one element that I didn't touch on, which is a little odd. Both on the main menu and on the bottom screen there is a skill list. You don't unlock these via any form of skill point nor in-game actions. As you progress through the game, you just unlock them. The idea being that this is you getting your physical memories back. If you think that sounded weird, you should look at the descriptions. Remember, you used to be able to shoot 2 handguns at once. You just remembered your records for holding your breath. From now on, you can stay twice as long underwater. You recall your healing powers. And my personal favourite, you remember your skill. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. I like it in fact. It's just the presentation is weird, almost like it was a cutback system. When it comes down to it, you won't have a bad time playing 13. The core gameplay just won't be the first thing you think of when your mind recalls the game. After one final holdout in front of our escaped helicopter, we get away and onwards to a conspirator in hiding. But that is where we will leave it. So, 13. Is it a game worth remembering? Yes, I'd say so. Yes, it's simplistic. Yes, the plot is a bit barren to be an engrossing tale of intrigue. But it plays well, has a nice variety of locations, some enjoyable writing / performances, and style for days. Now, do I think a fire should be lit under your arse to go and play it? No. But, if you're in a bit of a lull when it comes to things to play, it's definitely worth a go. It's certainly not expensive either. You can get it for I think it's £5 on GOG, and I think it's less than $10, and that's without it even being on a discount. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen with the remake though. Like if it's just this, with a new coat of paint, then I see no reason to get it. The original even still holds up pretty well from a visual standpoint, some low res elements aside. And it plays smoothly with no immediate problems to correct. Unless of course you solely play games on console and you don't have access to the Xbox, PlayStation 2 or GameCube, in which case I'm struggling to think of a reason to wait for the remake. Well, regardless, wherever you are and wherever you may be, may you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, or indeed night. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.